Tucker Barnhart, two-time Gold Glove Award winner, newest Tigers catcher, on the line with us now. Tucker, thanks so much for the time. And first of all, how does that sound? Tucker Barnhart, Tigers catcher. You've spent your whole life with one organization, the Cincinnati Reds.
It's going to take some adjusting and some getting used to, but I like it. I'm excited for the change. I'm excited to be a part of the Detroit Tigers organization and do anything I can to help this team win.
Tucker, welcome to the city. From one Detroit guy to the new Detroit Tiger. Welcome to the city. City is glad to have you.
I appreciate that. Thank you, man.
I'm excited. I'm a big Tigers fan. We talked about it early on. My dad was still on the show. Talked about going down to before Comerica Park, going down to Michigan and Trumbull. But I remember going to Comerica Park when it first opened, when we also got a catcher, and Pudge Rodriguez, who came and helped the Tigers go to the World Series in 2006, I believe it was, man. So,
you got it.
So I look at your resume, stacks up pretty nice, man. So I hope that's you.
Well, I appreciate that. To be mentioned in that kind of category, is put some pressure on me, but I'm excited for it. And Pudge, man, I looked up to him growing up. I watched him play as much as I possibly could. Actually, behind me you can't see it, but I have a Texas Rangers Pudge jersey hanging on my wall that he signed for me. So I hope and wish that I could do a little bit of what he did in Detroit, and like I said, help this team win in any way that I possibly can.
Talking to Tucker Barnhart, newest Tigers catcher. Tucker, you were a guy that was identified by this organization that could help them immediately. They didn't even want you to have a chance to test,
hit the market.
They wanted to make a trade for you. When you feel that wanted by an organization, what is that experience like?
Well, it's humbling, first of all. For an organization, I came from Cincinnati, who's was the first professional baseball team, going to another one of the older teams in all of baseball in Detroit. Just to be a part of something so special is definitely humbling in first and foremost. But speaking with Al and with AJ Hinch, with Chris Fetter, you can tell how much they genuinely are excited for me to be a part of the organization, and it means a lot to me. It really does. I talked with AJ the day that the trade happened, and I really appreciate. Him, a former catcher, I really appreciate how he views the position of a catcher and what he thinks it can do to a team to a game. Because I echo what he says, how integral and impactful that this position can be, and to be in an organization, not saying that the Reds didn't feel that way, because I know they did, but to be in another organization that views catching as important as they do, it means a lot to me, and it means even more to me that I was the guy that they wanted to be that behind the plate for them. So I'm excited, and I can't wait to get to work.
Tucker Barnhart joins us, the newest Tigers catcher. Cannot wait to have him here. Can't wait for spring training already. I know the World Series just happened, but I'm a junkie. I love watching baseball, and it's great to have you here, a catcher, man. Finally got a catcher. We got a guy named Eric Haas here last year. Came up from AAA. His mother actually drove him to the ballpark from Toledo to play in his first major league game. The guy goes crazy. Not only that, uncanny likeness to you too, Tucker. Have you had a chance to talk to Eric Haas?
I haven't yet. I look forward to that conversation, or those conversations, because I think that gone are the days where you lean on one catcher for the majority of a season. And so I by no means think that I'm going to come in here and literally play every single day and be the only guy that puts on catcher's gear for the Detroit Tigers. That would be ridiculous and naive of me to think that way. So the team needs both of us. The team needs both myself and Eric to contribute at a high level and prepare at a high level. And I haven't had that conversation yet with him, but I look forward to it. He was with Cleveland before Detroit, I believe, and we crossed paths in spring training a little bit out in Arizona, but not a lot. But I'm excited to work with him and pick his brain on how he feels about catching, and hopefully we can make each other better.
And, it's interesting, Tucker, that Matt just talked about AAA and coming up to the big leagues. I was just sitting here looking at. I had to do a little bit more research, make sure I was very prepared when you came on today. And I've always been intrigued about AA, AAA playing, getting drafted, but then your rookie year, maybe 3-4 years later. Like I was just reading, it said this is 2014, mind you, debuted against the Cards April 3rd, then option to Louisville Bats April 7th, recall back to the Reds May 1st. Then when you hit your first home run, that was a big moment. Then you were optioned back to Louisville May 18th. Then you were recalled back to the Reds July 6th. And then you went back to Louisville July 11th. To go from that to Golden Globe in 17, Golden Globe in 20, to being highly sought after soon to be free agent, man. Like, what is the journey like? And how I mean, you said humbling earlier, but it's got to be a heck of a journey, man.
It has been, and it's not over with by any means. But it's just those.
Oh, this is the last team you'll play for. This last team, you're stuck here.
That'd be great. It's cool to think about, like, all the people that you've crossed paths with, and I mean, I've been fortunate to do some cool stuff in my career so far, and by no means is it over. But yeah, I mean, you think about those grinds of minor league seasons and riding on buses without air conditioning and staying in crappy hotels, and then you think about where we are now and where I'm so fortunate to be at now. I mean, I got 2 boys. I got a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old, and they both were on the field, and my wife included, to receive my Gold Glove last year. And there's a cool picture that I'll never forget, and I can't wait to explain it to him and show it to him in a few years when he really understands what a Gold Glove is, and not just that Daddy's going to work, but Daddy actually plays in the big leagues. It's a picture of my son. I'm holding my Gold Glove, and I'm getting it from Johnny Bench, and my son's looking at it like, holy cow, like, that's a cool looking trophy. But like, the meaning of it, I can't wait to explain it to him eventually where he completely understands it. But it's just, I think about the people that I've been fortunate enough to be around, and I can't wait to embark on this new journey and this new grind and meet new people and win in another city, and hopefully we can do some really special things. I think what Detroit's built prior to me getting here has been special, and I think they're compiling so much talent that, like I said earlier, I hope I can just do a little bit to make everybody better and contribute in winning at the highest level.
And one of the reasons, Tucker Barnhart, that the Tigers are in the spot that they are moving forward and as competitive as they are is because of how quickly these young arms have developed, the young staff. What can you bring a young staff? I'm sure that's one of the parts of your game, the way you call a game, that attracted you to this organization, or attracted this organization to you, I should say. How do you think you help prepare the young staff?
Well, how much time you got?
We got another 40 minutes. How much longer do you have?
because it's and what I mean by that is I'm going to learn so much from those guys too, from AJ, from Chris Fetter, that I think where I start the season at from the knowledge perspective is not even going to be anywhere close to where I end it. I think experience. I mean, it would be the cliche thing that I think everybody would go to, but I mean that. I believe in that. I'm confident in the way that I prepare and the way that I see the game, and just kind of helping us all learn. I think that's the main thing to go about it. I've been fortunate enough to be around some really good coaches that have helped me out so much. And I'm just hopeful that I can pass along some of that information to guys. I grew up around my dad is a teacher. He was a teacher, and he still gives baseball lessons to this day. And he told me, it's like, I remember him coming home in like after school, and he would talk about Johnny learning a math problem and how it made him smile, and how it, like, you could see it in his eyes, like he was excited that he, like, finally got it. And you could tell, and my dad would tell those stories and how excited he would be that he was able to impact somebody that way. And to me, when dealing with and how I relate this to pitchers is, there's no greater feeling for me as a catcher to, like, see a younger guy out there that may be making his debut or in his first year or second year or whatever, and you get through a game and he throws 7 shutout, punches out 10 or 12, and it's like, holy cow, I didn't know I could do that. When in reality, it was always in there. It was just about just unlocking it and giving him that confidence that he could do it. And so I look forward to those opportunities so much, and I enjoy them so much that hopefully the experience piece will help instill that confidence in those guys, and we can get the best out of them.
Hey, Tucker, I wanted to ask you about the Tigers and the commitment to winning. This organization has never been afraid to spend money when they felt they had an opportunity to do so. Carlos Correa is a guy that's out there right now, $300 million over 10 years, maybe $320. The Tigers aren't afraid to spend that money. There's a relationship with AJ Hinch, whether it's Carlos Correa or any one of the 5 shortstops that are out there. What has the organization said to you about their commitment to win? I know Justin Verlander is out there as well. The Tigers just saw him recently throw. Have they mentioned to you about a timetable of what they want to do in terms of bringing free agents in, building a championship contending team? Because what we saw last year was the couple of pieces here, man, and this thing could go for a long time.
Yeah.
We haven't had those conversations necessarily, but the way that I view it, kind of, when I wasn't with the organization, I was with the Reds, is when you bring in a guy like AJ Hinch, you're on your way to winning in a very short period of time, in my opinion. You're not going to bring in a guy like AJ and rebuild. Is the way that I viewed it from the outside. And just, again, listening to the way that AJ talked and how excited he was when I talked to him on the phone, I think the time is now for us to kind of go. I think it's there. I think we have good pieces, and to your point, it sounds like that they're going to be active in free agency. I don't know that for sure, and I don't want to overstep and speak on that when I don't know. But all signs have pointed that way, and I'm excited to be a part of it, and I'm excited to win and to win a lot.
Tucker Barnhart joins us, Tigers Gold Glove catcher. The newest acquired from the Cincinnati Reds. I got something for you. Speaking of the Reds, we had a guy that played here, Nick Castellanos. I know you got to know him over there. We love Nick here. He didn't love our ballpark, though. He did love Detroit, but he didn't love Comerica Park. Did he tell you a little bit about Comerica Park? Because it ain't the great American ballpark. I can tell you that.
There's no doubt about that. It's not. Having played there a little bit, it's very obvious, very quick that it's not Great American Ballpark. The only thing that I would that comes to mind when he think about, or when he would mention Comerica, is that a guy would hit a ball to center in Cincinnati and it'd be off the boat, or he'd hit a ball in BP that would hit off the boat above the batter's eye, and he was like, "Well, that's an F8 at Comerica." So it made me laugh a little bit.
He hated this place.
Oh man, that's funny. I enjoy playing there. I'm excited to play there. I think it's going to help me out a lot. I hit a lot of doubles, so being able to continue to do that is going to help me out. There's not a lot of extra bases in Cincinnati. It's more homers or singles.
Exactly
the way the ballpark is. So
just get used to hearing Comerica National Park. That's all.
Hey man, doubles are good too.
Hey, I'm a huge Catchers fan. I'm an old timer, not really, but young at heart. I mean, I grew up watching Johnny Bench.
We keep him young.
Johnny
Bench,
keep him
young,
okay?
Tucker.
But my guy was Thurman Munson, and I saw you put out a tweet last week that your dad's guy was Thurman Munson. Who is your guy? Who did you like? Are you Yadi Molina? Who's your guy?
Well, I can say it now and not get as much grief about it. Yadi was my guy growing up. In Cincinnati, he's hated. So it was kind of like a sin to say that when people would ask me who my favorite catcher was growing up. So I kind of had to say Pudge, which Pudge is way up there. I just didn't see him play as much as I did Yachty. But yeah, Yachty, we developed kind of a working relationship. I wouldn't say we're friends necessarily, but a working relationship. We text each other, I would say, a couple times a year and go back and forth. And he was one of the first people that texted me in 2017 when I won my first Gold Glove, and that meant a lot to me when he did that. So Pudge was a guy that I watched a lot. Obviously, not as much as Yachty, just because it was closer to when I was in high school and things like that. And then obviously getting to play against him the last almost 8 years has been kind of a dream come true.
Cincinnati's a great baseball city. Detroit is a great baseball city. Tucker, we cannot thank you enough for your time here on Woodward Sports. We are certainly excited to have you. Best of luck and continued success. Hope to talk to you down the road.
Go get them.
I appreciate it, guys.
I'll be there opening day.
Oh,
We'll see ya.
and Braylon,
I'll miss any opening days.
But before a long career in the NFL, Tucker, Braylon said he could have been a Major League Baseball player too, but he chose the NFL. So if you ever want to throw him BP,
Hey, it worked out.
I appreciate that. I appreciate
See you,
that.
Tucker.
Thanks, Tucker.
man.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it a lot, man.
Tucker
Good luck.
Barnhart, two-time Gold Glove winner, newest Detroit Tiger. Certainly
guy.
excited to have him on. Look.